I made TikTakToe, as you can see right over there. But the thing is, you see, I didn't do it the right way. Let me explain. To make the game, I used SDL, SDL image, and SDL mixer. For SDL ascent for the window, SDL image for fetching the images and PNGs, and then SDL mixer for the awful sound, and C++ for the programming language choice. Why did I decide to make TikTakToe? Well, before this, I made this simple point-and-click game called Zero Beat Adventure, which you can purchase. I don't know if you should, but you can on itch.io. And after making this, I thought, okay, I want to make other complete games. So what can I make which is simple enough, realistic enough, and it doesn't really take that much time? But maybe make some changes, some like adjustments to my code, so it's not exactly the same thing. And that's how I ended up deciding on TikTakToe, as it met all of my requirements. And I actually did complete it within 3 months, which is good. First, I started by playing around with options and the user interface. Why? Because I wanted to have this amazing effect where whenever you highlight something on the buttons, you have this player versus AI, player versus player options, and then exit. And this took a lot of time, way too much time actually. But if you go on different languages, as you can see, it changes. Let's go on Japanese, and let's go back. There, it's kind of crude, but it works. Set Sotei options, and let's go back to English. And there's sound too, but yeah, I'm not going to torture you with my sound because it's not good. Okay, stop. One of the reasons why this took so long is that I made this huge spreadsheet with all the languages, English, Bulgarian, and Japanese. And then I had to, map the coordinates for the sprites, for the letters, which on its own also took quite a lot of time. This was not very efficient. As each language is a bit different, I stored the languages separately, and then I had like a text database. When I went to, for example, the main menu, I could create for English, Japanese, and Bulgarian their own separate labels, and with a text assigned to it. That way, I could render 2 languages or 3 languages at the same time. Figuring out the player versus player and player versus AI was not that difficult. I've already made TikTakToe before, but still it was quite a lot of fun figuring where to put the game logic, where should there be more events. As TikTakToe is quite event driven, you press a button, stuff happens, and that's why it wasn't really that hard for me to make this game, but still a lot of fun. The AI is just random. There's not much thought put into it. If there's a free cell, just select there. Surprisingly, actually, it's quite clever from time to time. It actually did beat me. I feel like I learned quite a lot from making this game. For example, project management, even though this was done during my free time. How to complete a game rather than, just abandoning it. Which I feel like a lot of hobby projects, you just abandon them. Because after a certain time, it's just not fun. After you figure out everything, it's a bit harder to, reach that endpoint. I'm just happy. It has everything. There's options, player versus player, player versus AI. Even though the AI is quite crude. There's something good about finishing games. Something that I realized, at least for my hobby projects, is that I probably should use some kind of project management software, or at least somehow make myself more accountable, because there were some weeks where I just didn't do anything. And I'll try to be a bit more consistent, at least for my next game idea project. And something else that I thought that it would be cool to do for the next game is use ultralight or some kind of HTML renderer for the user interface. That way, I feel like it would be more efficient for me and, you know, for the game. Well, thank you for watching. Hopefully this was somewhat educational, useful in some way. And see you in the next one.